Welcome to Wisdom for Your Day. Sit back and get ready for some knowledge from real people with life lessons you can apply to your journey today. Codie Sanchez reached the level of a self-reliant financial powerhouse by age 39. She didn't just build a business, she built an empire of independent assets. Her perspective on risk, however, wasn't formed in a traditional classroom. It was forged on the U.S.-Mexico border, where she spent years as a journalist covering the brutal dynamics of human trafficking and cartels. The jump from a war zone to the structured world of institutional finance is rarely smooth. It raises the question, how does someone transition from the trauma of the border to the heights of independent wealth? The answer lies in a specific framework of psychological mastery. For Sanchez, the spreadsheets were secondary to the work of stabilizing her own internal landscape. Before she could successfully close her first independent deal, she had to win a different kind of fight, the conquest of her own internal turmoil. In her early days in finance, the hypervigilance she developed on the border became a source of friction. To analyze a balance sheet objectively, she first had to deconstruct the survival instincts that were still tuned for life and death stakes. She then faced the hurdle of corporate validation. Stepping away from the prestige of Goldman Sachs meant walking away from a pre-packaged identity and the security that comes with a high-status institutional title. This wasn't a one-time shift. As she began making her own moves, she had to learn to process severe anxiety in real time, ensuring that her high-stakes operational decisions remained clean and unclouded. That mental clarity was essential when she began executing unproven acquisitions. Mistakes were inevitable, but she had to navigate the vulnerability of failing in front of her peers and iterating on those errors immediately. Underneath it all, she had to confront her own ambition. She acknowledged that a relentless work ethic can often serve as a shield, hiding deeper personal insecurities about self-worth. By establishing this unclouded emotional baseline, she developed the psychological armor necessary to survive the risks of full-time business ownership. With her internal foundation set, she turned her focus outward, using social intelligence to locate overlooked opportunities in the market. She realized that her potential was being capped by corporate compliance. This self-awareness drove her to shift her focus entirely toward high-leverage business ownership. She began approaching networking as a structured, learnable skill. By deconstructing social interaction, she was able to dismantle her own anxiety and forge partnerships with elite investors. Speed became her advantage through feedback agility. Instead of avoiding critique, she integrated operational mistakes and self-corrected faster than her competitors could react. This data reveals why she looked past the tech sector. Her focus shifted toward Main Street small businesses, stable, local industries that are often ignored by traditional private equity. To protect this strategy, she maintains a strict mental diet. She consciously blocks out online toxicity and industry noise to keep her daily energy focused on profitable action. This combination of social intelligence and focused empathy allowed her to unlock asset classes that others had dismissed as unremarkable. By 39, Sanchez had transitioned from building her own portfolio to creating a framework that others could use to achieve their own independence. She advocates for self-apprenticeship, encouraging students to manufacture their own experience through side hustles and proactive positioning rather than waiting for a job offer. She pushes for a spirit of independent curiosity, urging leaders to challenge the rigid paths set by traditional education to find unique gaps in the market. A central part of this is demystifying private equity. This diagram shows her MOT framework, which breaks business evaluation down into accessible, practical steps for everyday wealth creation. The goal is a total shift in mindset, moving away from the hunt for a corporate job and toward the ownership of localized assets. She models this through accountability, taking complete responsibility for every outcome, and coaching her team to meet those same uncompromising standards. These strategies have transformed her business into a decentralized educational network that generates wealth by teaching the principles of self-reliance. Looking back, the intensity of her early career as a journalist served a specific purpose. It provided the resilience needed to survive the volatility of the financial markets. In this context, Her financial success appears to be a result of the work she did on herself first. The revenue arrived only after she had stabilized the internal mechanics of her own decision-making. By treating resilience and social intelligence as her most important assets, she was able to scale her vision into a global community. True wisdom starts with action. Step up, become a champion of change, and shape your own future. If you are ready to grow, subscribe, follow, and join our community. Find our full library of stories on YouTube under Wisdom for Your Day. Stay resilient and remember to be yourself. Everyone else is taken.